Hi, Todd Warren here in the Forecast Center with a look at our weather week ahead. And we've seen a pretty nice week of weather this week, and it looks like next week is looking pretty much just as nice. As you can see, the crystal clear sky this afternoon as we check out the Arklatex weather camera in downtown Marshall. And looking at the weather map, the presence of Ian to the east of us, and one reason why the dry air is not going anywhere anytime soon. You can see the storm did make landfall earlier this afternoon. It is going to slowly dissipate as it moves towards the north-northwest, and on the backside of its circulation we'll see the continuation of this northeasterly wind for the next few days, and actually there's nothing that will change that, and as a result we will not see anything as far as moisture, and as a result nothing as far as rain. Next few days look like this as we take it through the weekend with Robbins Toyota Futurecast. You can see that tonight we're looking at a clear sky across the area. Tomorrow looking sunny as temperatures will be slightly warmer. We'll warm into the low to middle 80s tomorrow. As we go through tomorrow night, expect to see a clear sky, another cool night as temperatures will fall into the low to middle 50s once again. And then Sunday, we warm up a bit more, closer to normal, with highs mainly in the middle 80s. And that warming trend likely will continue into next week. Let's take a look at the next 10 days. Again, watching a disturbance here moving into the northern Rockies. And again, it's going to move eventually across the middle of the country, and as it moves through, it'll do really only one thing eventually, but as it approaches, you would normally expect to see some rain on the east side of this little shortwave right here. That's not going to happen, as we are looking at the lack of moisture preventing anything significant as far as clouds and rain. And once it pushes through, we'll see another surge of a little bit cooler and drier air make its way into the region. So we warm up until this gets here. Highs should return close to 90 by the middle of next week, but as this moves past, the northwesterly flow will cool us off, as we'll see temperatures retreat back into the middle 80s by the time we get into the last half of next weekend, and the beginning of the following week, and still nothing on the horizon as far as rain. It could be an additional 2 weeks before we see any rainfall chances across the area. As far as Ian, the storm did make landfall as it is now moving into the eastern sections of South Carolina. Max winds during the last advisory before landfall were at 85 miles per hour. Ian will continue to slide its way towards the northwest into North Carolina here during the evening, and then it'll kind of dissipate over the mountains of the Virginias here heading into the weekend, and it likely will continue to produce lots of rain, and that rain may be enhanced in the higher elevations of the Appalachians. Of course, lots of rain associated with Ian as it moves in. Also seeing a bit of an increase in the power outages in parts of South Carolina as well as North Carolina. You can see those numbers increasing dramatically here during the day. Notice the number in Florida slowly receding as we're down to 1.7 million. At its peak, it was 2.6 million yesterday. So power gradually being restored to Florida. So looks like this. Don't expect much change in our forecast here at home, as tonight is looking clear across the area. We'll see temperatures that will fall into the 40s and lower 50s. 52 in Shreveport, 49 degrees for the low temperature in Texarkana, 48 degrees in Marshall. Tomorrow, expect to see lots of sunshine, slightly warmer temperatures as we'll warm into the low to middle 80s. 83 in Shreveport, 81 in Texarkana, 85 in Natchitoches, and 80 for the daytime high tomorrow in Linden. 10-day forecast shows the gradual warming trend continuing, and that sunshine will continue as well, as we'll see highs back up into the upper 80s to close to 90 for Wednesday and Thursday. Lows will eventually return to the low 60s. We will see some cooler air return back to the low to middle 80s by next weekend. Lows should retreat back to the 50s, and you can still see nothing as far as rainfall across the Arklatex from now through next weekend and into the beginning of the following week. In fact, it could be 2 weeks before we see, as I mentioned earlier, any significant chance of rain here in the Arklatex as the drought conditions continue to accelerate and develop across the region. So all in all, a nice weekend on the way with sunshine, highs in the 80s and lows in the 50s.